So, it has come to my attention that Nigerian men are currently enjoying some premium adverts and marketing. The girlies want to try them out and see what's going on. We want to date a Nigerian guy. Before you go ahead and do that, here are a few things you should know. So, it has come to my attention that Nigerian men are currently enjoying some premium adverts and marketing. The girlies want to try them out and see what's going on. We want to date a Nigerian guy. Before you go ahead and do that, here are a few things you should know. Number one, if a Nigerian man ever calls you and says you're his wife and says, I'm going to marry you, can you come back? I will come. Benny, please understand that the man is just flirting with you. Wallahi, it's just, that's how they do. But one party one is extra. All their own things is extra. They will call you their wife. It comes so easy. It doesn't take much from that to call you my wife. Nami go marry you. It does not mean it. It's just flirting. You know who did not know she was being flirted with? Steph London. Because she was on radio talking about, Burna Boy, he calls me his wife and he says he's going to marry me. We're going to have kids. I'm like, Stephanie, Burna is just flirting with you. Wallahi. Number two, his friends are not your friends. And I know this is applicable to any other culture, any other ethnicity, but you see with Nigerian men, one shenkan small. It's always big. Overdoing is their own. His friends are not your friends. They will make you feel special. They will pamper you, shower you with encomiums, tell you about how they're so happy you are in his life because he's been through so much and you bring back so much peace and love. Like, look at him. He's so happy. They like him this way. They love you. Kinika. My dear, don't believe the hype. Take a little bit and leave the rest alone, okay? Because those same friends are going to be the best men at the wedding to the woman he told you not to worry about. And even in that same friend group, there is somebody in there that is secretly hoping you would love them the same way you love their friend. They want to be, they're ready to step in if ever steps out of line. Number three, his mom is also not your mom. Again, some of you really believe the hype too much that you start to play daughter-in-law duties and you don't even have the ring. Be using your brain, shine your eye, open your ear. Don't be doing too much. Don't do past yourself. Because his mom knows all of his girlfriends. I know. Because when you come, she will call you Yawowa, my dear, can you call, show up, bawoni, mommy, call. Whatever you want to be doing for his mommy, do it for your own mommy. Don't be going to her house to go and be doing her laundry. Then see up there. You are going to the grocery shopping. When you come there on Monday, somebody is there on Wednesday. Another person is there on Friday. Show me. His mom knows all of his girlfriends. And at any point in time, his mom would always choose a son over you. Okay? So don't be doing too much. We will continue this conversation, but I gotta go.
Oh girl, I will continue this conversation for you. We have spoken about this conversation before. The overhyping and exaggeration of Nigerian men in South Africa. That we South African women, well, not all of us, believe that Nigerian men are better candidates to be husbands than South African men. Mainly because women in South Africa lack the logic of understanding men. There's no better than or worse than men than our own in South Africa. At the end of the day, whether they are Nigerian, Zimbabwean, South African, Angolan, they have the tendency of thinking like a man, regardless of where they are from. And that's something you should take away. His friends are not your friends. They will overhype you. They will over-exaggerate situations. And the more they compliment you, they're trying to make you feel special. And they don't necessarily do that with the woman that they know that he's committed to on a longer term. Because let's be honest, Nigerian men who come here in South Africa, they already have long-time partners that they're gonna settle with when they get home. And them having a woman here is not necessarily saying that he's going to marry you one day. He may have a steady relationship with you. That does not mean that he's trying to be married to you. And how do we know this? I don't even have to know this most of the time. It's things that we observe. It doesn't even have to be my personal experience, because I won't necessarily go for a Nigerian man because, well, I come from a clan that's very different, and I don't think they will. And in fact, I know that they won't accept a Nigerian man. So whatever fling that we might have would end up nowhere anyway. It will be something of just having fun. And also, how he treats you, a man, the way he treats you says a lot. How he invests in you. Also monetarily, because a man's value is in his pockets. But how else are you going to prove your value? Right? It's in your pockets. And also, your value is in how you treat your woman, how you express your love to a woman. Nothing else really matters unless the man loves you more than you love him. That's the kind of relationship that works and lasts long, that will lead to marriage. But any kind of relationships is a waste of time. He will continue to search for the woman in his mind that he has set to be with.
Here are a couple of things I wish I knew before I started dating Nigerian men. Number one, acting like you can't hear, understand, and speak pidgin will help you in the long run. Because him and his friends get to gossip about you in peace without actually understanding that you can hear them, and you get to know what they say and feel about you. Number two, you are not running a hookup service, honey. If his friends ask you to hook you up with one of your friends, they are either not their type, they don't find them interesting, they are in a relationship. Come up with all sorts of excuses, but do not mix your friendship with your relationship. You are not running a hookup service. They can easily find girls by themselves, badala. Number three, you are an individual person. Do not let go of that. You are your own person. You see, the problem that I've seen with most of us who are dating Nigerian men is that we are all the same. We do the same hobbies, we go to the same places. All of a sudden, we like the same music, which is weird. You are your own individual person. Stay true to who you are. Continue with your hobbies. Continue liking the same music you did, even if he doesn't like it. If you are never a fan of R&B, do not act like you like R&B. If you are not a fan of trap music, don't act as if you like it. Continue liking what you like. He might find it interesting in the long run. If he likes you, he might adjust to that. You don't have to adjust to everything that he does. He needs certain things that he needs to adjust to as example. And number three, when you ask him something and he says, don't stress me. When you ask him something that he did and you think that he did and he says, don't stress me, he's guilty. And he's not trying to look for an answer to cover that. He just doesn't want to talk. So he's guilty. And the last one, there are certain days where you will eat alone in a restaurant. Those people genuinely love their food. Sometimes you will be having a meal by yourself and he will be just ordering a drink. So get used to that. And to emphasize on number three, please guys, stay true to who you are as an individual. Have your own hobbies. Have your own friends. Don't change who you are because you want to make a man comfortable. To remain true to yourself. If you like the certain type of things, continue doing those things. You don't have to be like every other girl that he had dated, because now you are not different from the people that he has dated. You're still the same, but in a different body with a different face. So just be you. If you like books, continue reading books. If he finds that boring, then that's his fault, not yours. If you like gospel, continue listening to gospel. Now, the first time I went to a sleepover, because I'm someone that likes meditation, right? So I woke up early in the morning. And because I didn't want to disturb him, I went to a dining room. So I switched on the TV and I put on my meditation sound. And I sat on the mat and I was meditating. So he came out and he was looking. He said he was standing there for like 10 minutes and I couldn't even feel that he was standing there. And I was just minding my own business. And I continued to what I was doing because I love meditation. And most times when I'm going,
I'm sorry about that. If you live in South Africa, then you understand that there's a load shedding crisis and it happens. However, I was enjoying her story and her telling her piece. One thing about being individual, your own person, with her own mind, can form your ideas and also incorporate his own ideas. You can develop a personality that's blendable, I guess, but at the same time has its own originality. Being yourself gives people to love you for you. And one of the things we do as women, whether we date Nigerian men, whether we date South African women, South African men, or whatever nationality he is, we want to impress the man. He should be the one to impress us. He should be the one going out of his way to impress you. You are the prize. He should be grateful that he is even in your presence. You shouldn't go above and beyond to impress a man. Like I said, relationship dynamics always works better if a man loves you more. When a man loves you more, he's willing to learn. He's willing to improve on himself. He's willing to do things for you. He's willing to just be a man that you will be proud to have. He is willing to just be there for you, support you emotionally, financially. He's just looking to be your man, and he's just looking to make you happy, and whatever that means to be happy. And that does not mean that it will come from a Nigerian man. It will come from any man who values you. And this is why I did not even like the exaggeration and the overhyping of Nigerian men. We know the type of Nigerian men you're hyping. We know the type of Nigerian men you are over exaggerating. Okay? You make money through these types of men. And most often you'd say, oh, well, they're going to give you money. Like, no one just gives you money just like that. Okay? You shouldn't be greedy. Sometimes being greedy puts you in dangerous situations where you end up kidnapped, where you end up being sacrificed as a ritual, where ultimately you end up being exploited just because you are greedy. So you need to learn to just love yourself. There's nothing bigger than loving yourself, appreciating yourself. And I guess this is something you learn as you age. You constantly just stop the need to validate your existence to someone else. You constantly have this desire to just improve on yourself because you want to be better for yourself and you want the man that comes in your life to value you. And this is why also you don't behave like a wife when you're not married. It's unnecessary. You don't give wife duties to a boyfriend. You do not do that. Okay? If anything, he's a liability. Okay? You need somebody that will become an asset because nobody loses anything from a boyfriend. Nobody wins anything from a boyfriend. Okay? Things can just end now. Let's say I give him 50,000. He's a boyfriend. Okay? He's a boyfriend. What if he runs away? I never get that. So if he runs away and we are married, at least things that he bought that in the house. So now he runs away with your 50,000. How are you gonna get that back? You don't build a man as well. You don't build a man. You're not a builder. You're not a builder. You're not a building material. He needs to build himself. He needs to find his purpose. He needs to find himself. He needs to find his feet. And then he can be in a relationship with you. And if he's not yet finding his purpose, finding his feet, then he shouldn't be in a relationship. He shouldn't be focused on women. He shouldn't be. Because what he will do, he will use you as a ladder to go up. And then he will not want you, because men use women as a mirror. So he would not want you back. He would not want you to reflect where he came from. So he will take another woman to enjoy your labor. So you're not a builder. Don't build a man. Build yourself. Use the materials to better yourself so that you can get a man that's on your level with your own standard of thinking, that knowing that you guys came together to love each other, to become one. You did not come to just build anyone. If you are building, you're building extensions of yourself for your legacy and your kids. Anything else is a waste of time. You're really wasting your time. So like I said, love yourself. It's important. If you have low self-esteem, stay away from men. It's important. Stay away from men. Nigerian, South African, stay away from them. All right. I don't know about Nigerian men. Okay, they're not my things that I would hype. Men that I would hype. So maybe because they're exaggerated for me. So listen, love yourself. There's nobody in this world that will love you more than you love you. Maybe your mother, but love you and put yourself first. Thank you.